Hello and welcome back to Mexico News Network's Breaking News. Remember, we are broadcasting from the gorgeous El Dorado Royal Spa Resort by Charisma, a beautiful hotel in the heart of Riviera Maya, gourmet inclusive, by the way. And also, please remember to keep informed 24/7 by logging on to our website, www.mexiconewsnetwork.com, and to follow us on social networks on Google+, Facebook, as well as Twitter. You'll find us as Mexico News Network. Now let's continue with more information. 30-year-old Valery Spirandov from Russia is hoping to overcome a degenerative disease by literally changing bodies from the head downwards, as it is currently impossible for him to support his very own skeleton. The plan would involve Italian neurosurgeon Dr. Sergio Canavero making a complete head transplant to a healthy body in order to possibly extend his life. Valery Spirandov was diagnosed with Werding-Hoffmann disease, a rare genetic condition which prevents muscles from growing from the patient's first years of life onward. Around 50% of people diagnosed with this disease have a life expectancy of 1 year. Spirandov, however, is now 30 years old and has opted for this drastic and innovative form of surgery. The medical community has responded skeptically to this procedure. Mexican neurosurgeon and spine surgeon Teodulo Valenzuela Hernandez explained that even today it is still science fiction to think a head transplant could be possible as the spinal cord is a very complex body part. Dissecting it is on its very own an irreversible injury. It would also involve having to reconnect the trachea, esophagus, nerves, as well as arteries. Amid the entire controversy, Spirandov is going through the operation, which could be carried out in the year 2017. For him, this is one of the few choices he has left, so this decision is definitive. This technology is very similar to the first man to walk on space, stated Spirandov. He has faith in the future. It will help thousands of people who are in an even more deplorable state than he currently is. Now, in other news regarding the science world in Mexico, Mexican scientist Gabriela Caraveo Piso may be very close to finding the cure to Parkinson's disease by discovering how calcium as an intracellular messenger has the potential of becoming lethal in large concentrations. The very next step is to conduct test trials on humans, which could possibly lead to a cure for this neurological disease. A biology graduate from the National Autonomous University in Mexico and a researcher at the Whitehead Institute for Biomedical Research in Cambridge, Massachusetts, Dr. Caraveo managed to identify a way to reduce the toxicity resulting from excessive production of the enzyme calcineurin. Parkinson's is characterized by the unfolding of alpha-synuclein protein, which is the folding of proteins in the process where the protein structure assumes its functional shape. This leads to a series of events, starting with the increase of intracellular calcium, leading to overactivation of the enzyme calcineurin. At the very same time, this process removes phosphate, which is a chemical that functions in intracellular communication paths, altering in this way normal functioning and killing certain cells. In an effort to root out this problem, Dr. Caraveo discovered that by lowering the activation levels of calcineurin without fully eliminating it, those cells can survive. By altering the natural process, contact is avoided with the nuclear factor of activated T cells, NFAT, protein redirecting communication to the cytoskeleton, which is the internal cell support, preventing failure of motor functions and ultimately decreasing the symptoms of Parkinson's. Now, in order to achieve these results, tacrolimus, which is a drug usually prescribed to transplant patients, was used. It is an immunosuppressant capable of reducing the activation of calcineurin in the brain and effectively reducing the toxic symptoms of the disease. The exact dosage still needs to be adjusted, as human tests have yet to be conducted. If the results remain constant, Dr. Caraveo may be very well responsible for curing a disease that kills over 100,000 patients a year. In more information in the world of science, Mexican students from the National Polytechnic Institute, or IPN, the Autonomous University of Puebla, and the Technology Institute of Costa Rica have returned to Mexico as heroes, having won several medals, including first place at the Robot Challenge 2015, which is the most important international robotics contest. The event took place in Vienna, Austria from April the 11th to the 12th. Representing Mexico were 127 students from all over the country. Now, according to the captain of the IPN Robotics Club, Salvador Guzman Martinez, they had to beat 150 teams from 40 different countries, including Germany, Italy, Poland, Turkey, Russia, Switzerland, and China. The mechanism design and electronic improvements for robots were made from scratch by the Mexican students with supervision from their professors. Innovation was the most difficult part, said Dustin Lorente, a member of the IPN team. There were a lot of prototypes to beat, especially in the sumo categories. The purpose of this category is to beat the other team's robot by pushing it out of a delimited arena. The robots are made to be completely autonomous, which means that all of them have sensors to detect where the opponent is and beat it in seconds. The participation of the 121 teams was stunning. Some of the outstanding innovations of the competition were at the micro sumo category, where the Mexican students made first, second, and third place with the robots Quetzalito, Krieger, and Xibalba, respectively. The robots Daca and Robusto won first and second places in the mini sumo contest. Also, students from the Technology Institute of Costa Rica won second place in the mega sumo categories and made first and second in the humanoid race. In total, the Mexican delegation won 4 gold medals, 4 silver, and 1 bronze. Now, in more news, the High-Altitude Water Cherenkov, also known as the HAWC Observatory, is a unique scientific research center in the world with the capacity to observe 2/3 of the sky. And guess where it's located? In Mexico, of course, at 4 kilometers above sea level and surrounded by 2 volcanoes, Pico de Orizaba, which is the highest in the country, and the Sierra Negra. HAWC detects and analyzes gamma rays that hit the planet from outer space. This particular area of study is also known as high-energy astrophysics and is used to formulate and refute theories about the origins of the universe as well as cosmic events. Gamma rays are particles that irradiate a million times more power than the energy of visible light. This energy is generated by violent cosmic events such as explosions, crashes, and collapses. They are also generated by stars like the sun as well as black holes. Because of the HAWC's privileged position and its cutting-edge technology, researchers have been able to embark on more detailed investigation on gamma rays and their effects. This 30,000 square meters unit has 300 tanks of pure water to sense and record Cherenkov radiation, which is the flashes of light created by gamma ray particles after their impact with the Earth's atmosphere. This energy is then measured by a sophisticated system. By analyzing the speed, direction, and time of arrival of gamma rays, scientists can now determine where they originated from and how this energy in fact reached the Earth. The HAWC, which receives information on 40,000 cosmic events per second, was created with the collaboration of 30 institutions from Mexico and the United States. All of this at a cost of $15.5 million. Its construction alone began in the year 2005 and was inaugurated earlier on this month by the director of Mexico's National Council for Science and Technology, better known as CONACYT, Dr. Enrique Cabrero, and Franz Cordova, director of the National Science Foundation in the U.S. Stay with us. We'll be right back with more information on the world of science, technology, and Mexico after these few messages.